Hello, my name's Tim Keightley. I'm the director of the Foxton Centre, and we're going to take you out into the town centre now and to tell you a little bit about homelessness and rough sleeping.
So what would you do if you suddenly became homeless? Of course, you may not think it will happen to you, and that's what most people who we work with say. They can't believe how they've ended up with no home and on the street. It's usually because of a mixture of misfortune and sometimes mistakes. So what would you do? Where would you go for help? A friend maybe, or a relation. But how long would that last before they felt, or as what normally happens, you felt, that it was time for you to get out of the way and get yourself sorted? Would you qualify for help from the local authority? How do you know? Would you be in priority need? How will you find out? Where would you go at night to get safe, dry and warm? And how would you spend your time during the day, hour after hour? That's why the Foxton Centre is needed. For many, we are the first friendly face, the first helping hand. We provide the first welcome, or the first safe place, the first place of hope. After one or many nights on the street, that comes as a hugely welcome relief. If it's wet or cold, and in Preston you may have noticed it seems to be often wet and cold, finding somewhere warm and welcoming can feel like a godsend. Our community cafe is open on 4 days a week, and 2 other days we're open for appointments. People can come for the food, which is affordable, it's healthy and it's nutritious. It's only £1 for a hot dinner. They come in order to make contact with other people. They come to socialise. They come to use our computers to get information from us. They come for the support of our team of community social workers and youth workers. But how do people sleeping out know about us? That's where our outreach team comes in. We carry out regular early morning counts to find out how many people are sleeping rough in Preston. We need to know who they are, and we need to let them know where they can get help. We're also out most daytimes, and we also try and keep in contact with people who have spent longer periods on the street, encouraging them to use our wet garden and to begin to make the move away from what we call entrenched rough sleeping. So when we find somebody, if they're asleep, we leave them and come back a bit later, give them some food, a card or some information, chat with them if they're an hour awake, and tell them about us and where they can get help in Preston. We also work closely with the local churches who run drop-ins on days when we're not providing food, and we help them to provide the right information to tell people how to find the Foxton Centre and to work with us.
So if you did sleep out at night, you want to find somewhere that was safe, relatively safe, somewhere dry and maybe a bit warmer than just the outside world. So this is the kind of place that people might come to. Still not safe. Robert came to us a couple of years ago. He found himself sleeping rough. His background was similar to many of yours, and he was as surprised as the rest of us to find himself homeless. And his experience of the streets was a really violent one, constantly being beaten up and stuff being stolen for him. So when he came to us, it was quite a bad way, and he was drinking heavily as well, and wasn't really communicating very well with people, very withdrawn and very quiet in himself. But slowly, over a number of months really, he gradually became more vocal, made a few friends in our cafe, got talking to staff, heard his story, and then we managed to work with him to help him sort out some of the issues, cut down on his drinking, get some benefits in place, sort out some of the issues he had with courts, and gradually begin to get himself together. Robert then went into rehab, and now he's beginning to pick up his career. So he's a real success story. It's taken him a couple of years. He's done all the hard work, we've supported him, tried to sort things out with him and for him, and now hopefully he's going to flourish. That's taken 2 years, but for us, that's a success story.